nice rig you got there.
Thank you. Yeah, this is a pretty impressive camera rig. I'll tell you all about it in a minute. Um, so, without looking at your phone, tell me which phone you have.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I have an iPhone.
Hmm.
It's can you describe it
Is it an iPhone 4, or is it a 4S or a 5?
or
Or
it's a 4 with a 6 system in
okay, so it's an iPhone 4 running iOS 6.
it. Yeah,
Um,
and I can't get 7 or 8 one since uh, it's jam packed full of no memory. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and since it's jam packed full, what do you think it's full with? If you had to
Stuff
guess.
probably a lot that I don't really need. It just says I only have like 260 kilobytes left space.
Gracious.
it's a six. It's a 16 gig. Now I've got 500 gig in my cloud, iCloud,
Sure.
but I don't have to transfer it.
Okay. Um,
Or whatever. I can't get it off the phone to get the new systems. Let's put it that way.
sure. So, what do you use the phone for?
Well, um, I use it for just about everything. I mean, I live on this phone. My wife says I sleep with it. Well, I guess I do because it's always beside my bed. It's never, even when it's charging, I make sure I have two chargers, so I'm always close to it. Okay, so yeah, it's a fixture of my body,
Hmm.
right? It's something that I never dreamed would become that dependent upon. I have my schedules on there. I have my reminders on there, and at my age, I need reminders. I have all my business, everything, my contacts. I have all my workflow. It has everything I do and all my coded passwords and everything.
Hmm.
And um, all my students, I have them. I'm constantly in contact with my students. It's actually becoming a point where it's irritating now if someone doesn't have a way I can text them. I mean, I almost get really,
So you prefer to text instead of
well, or contact,
phoning,
whatever.
or?
I don't even like to call because I don't like talking on the phone to start with.
Mhm.
And but I can send emails, of course. And then if a person doesn't know how to operate their computer, that even further annoys me. Now, tell a 73-year-old man, how many of those will tell you that? I mean, they probably tell you they'd rather call somebody on the phone or talk to them in person or write them a letter.
Yeah, it seems like you've really adopted this phone, made it a
Well,
part of you.
I'm unusual in my age as far as he's talking about demographics or anything like that. I'm unusual in that I've kept up
Hmm.
with technology, and since the little square, Macs.
Sure.
Yeah, I even upgraded that as most as I could before I bought a computer. I think I had a one of the first Texas Instrument
Oh, I remember that.
64
The TI 99
something like
4A.
that. Yeah, and about all I could do on that was Pong.
Yeah. Sure.
Like that. So that's about it.
Hmm.
And on that, technology is my friend because I run my business on
Hmm.
it, and have created a business on it. I teach online. I do everything on the internet. I've had my share of scams. I've had my share of and now they're starting to come in on my phone. You know,
Hmm.
so I've been fighting that just like everybody else.
Sure.
And to me, it's an adventure and also a tool.
What would you say are the applications you use most on your phone?
Well, keeping up with myself.
Hmm.
I mean, trying to keep myself organized, I think, is the biggest part of
So
that.
it's calendars and reminders
Calendars,
and
all that.
contacts and
Yeah, I'm big on Google. I've got everything I do is on Google, and it affords me with some of the apps to live a fairly organized life, and that's good for me with my short-term memory. I mean, that's what I need.
so can I ask you, since everything you do goes through Google, why are you using an iPhone and not an Android Google phone?
Well, in the early days,
Mm-hmm.
right, I did have an Android. You know, I had the what's the predecessor of the Razor? The the
You had a Droid of some
Droid.
kind?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Droid. I had a Droid, and I they didn't have the apps that iPhone had.
Mm-hmm.
I was interested in all these fancy apps. Of course, I was an enthusiast at the time, and I lost that phone. So when I went back to buy, uh, when I went back to buy another one, there was a deal for me, and I tried the iPhone, and I've loved it ever since. And the apps were so numerous, I was just wow, overwhelmed. And that's probably why my phone is jammed up. I mean, as far as adding any more systems to it,
Sure.
I I still love it, and every time I get rid of an app, it's like losing my firstborn or something. I mean, I hate to give them up
Sure.
because it's kind of like things you put in the attic. Someday I might need it.
A thing like that, it could be useful someday.
That's right. That's right. Right. That's right. So it's fun. It's useful. It's a great tool. I love the way uh, it's been developed. I like. I don't like the new phone. I've heard a lot of bad things about it, as far as breakage and all that. I haven't heard anything else bad about it. But I keep this thing in my hip pocket, so I don't know whether I could adapt to the new phone or not. But
Mm.
everybody's hollering about the Galaxy, you know, S5. But I think instead of buying one of those, I'm going to stay with the iPhone.
And
Yeah, mainly because I'm used to the apps. I'm dependent upon the apps. Everything's
don't change the workflow that works for you.
it's working. Don't mess with it. Uh, that's a good principle of business too, as well. You just don't fix what don't need fixing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to have more storage. If I did, I'd keep piling them in. Probably.
So suppose someone gets a new phone and they don't know a whole lot about it. They ask you for advice. What's the first thing you tell them they have to have? What do you recommend?
For when they go to buy a new phone,
Well, when they start thinking about applications.
applications. Well,
You can tell me what phone you'd recommend too. I'd be happy to hear that.
yeah, absolutely the iPhone. In spite of all the hoopla and the discussion about uh, picture quality and all that stuff, with the Samsungs, I still think, I still keep my confidence in Apple, and I think the best thing they can do. Let's see, application, um, without looking at my phone.
It's okay to look at your phone now if you like.
Okay, let me see. I got so many. We might take a see how much film you got there. Okay, I'm saying. I mean, Drive is definitely. It's got to be Google. It's got to be a Google thing, you know. But for me, it's the calendar. And as far as an application goes,
Mm-hmm.
there's the weather thing. Well, let's see. My radar. That's important. But the first thing is, of course, your email account.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I think social media for me because you know
Which social networks do you use?
all of them, not all of them because there's a list a mile long, but the major ones, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. I do those, and I have a business presence on those as well. So I generate business that way. As far as applications, they're all great. Well, I use Picasso.
Hmm.
I think that's a good one for me. Um, and of course now that's connected to Google Plus. So
Sure.
you know, uh,
That's probably the best use of Google Plus is the photos.
yeah, yeah. YouTube and all those, which I have presence on. Everything I've just about got on my computer for business, I've got on my phone to somehow sync with that. So, except for major applications. Now, like for example, in Google, I've got all the applications I need for spreadsheets and documents and everything else. I mean, it's right there. I can do everything with that.
Mm.
Now, I don't know what I don't know what Apple's going to come up with. I don't know what they're doing as far, but it looks like they're sharing stuff now,
Hmm.
which is a good sign. I don't know what my favorite is. I guess, but in that order. Sort of.
All right. Well, thank you. I
Is that a
appreciate this.
yeah? Sometimes I don't even know the difference between an app and an application. Well, app is an
Yes,
application,
they are.
but uh, I'm some people think in terms of Microsoft Word as an application rather than a program.
Hmm.
But an application would be definitely I'd say the calendar. Got different and the reminder stuff, things like that. Those apps. I don't use any. I try to stay something that's close to Google and can sync with Google and things like that.
Great. Well, thank you.